Hey YouTube, it's OG Kicks 86. That's Kicks with the Z, back with another sneaker review. Before we get started, like always, this channel is not about hype. It's just literally about the shoe. Hopefully, it helps somebody make a decision one way or another. Let's go ahead and get started with this one. This one's kind of turned out to be very popular this year. This is going to be the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari colorway. These came out back in June of this year. I think I was out the door with these right at $215. I was able to get these on Hibbett for the purposes of this review. So let's go ahead and get into it. So right off the bat, you notice it's a standard Jordan 14 box. Go and take a look at this label. We have the Air Jordan 14 Retro Challenge Red and Black. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. And nothing extra on these, so just kind of standard uh, packing paper, just the kind of like that off-white or white color. And then these did come individually wrapped, just an FYI. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way, get the packaging out of here. And just wanted to say that I do have a special spot in my heart for 14s because I remember being a kid and watching Michael Jordan hit the last shot against the Utah Jazz for his final game as a Chicago Bull. So just always have that memory. I think that's always something awesome. You can always kind of revert back to your childhood, and a lot of this is, let's be honest, we're kind of healing that inner child. For people our age that are able to say, hey, I remember him watching him play and whatnot. But this material here on this shoe, it is a suede material. This is definitely a shoe that you don't want to go out in the rain if you care about that or care about taking care of the material. You might really want to put some water repellent on here or some protector on it because it is a suede material. So I think the color on these came out pretty good. The only gripe on the color I think would have been maybe if you could have made it a little bit brighter, but that's just me. I mean, some people might love this shade of red that's on here. So I know that the Jordan 5s came out with the all red shoe, and I think that's even a deeper, darker red than these, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, it's a shoe with the Jordan branding. Um, I've seen it several times where they say that there is like 14 Jordan logos on these shoes, and that's another like kind of Easter egg about these. So um, you also have the carbon fiber. It looks like carbon fiber, but I really doubt this is right here on the sides. So, but it still looks pretty good. And then you also have, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but right here you also kind of have the scoop. Again, this is supposed to be inspired by Michael Jordan's favorite car, which was his Ferrari. So the comfort on these 14s have always had a really long break-in time, and these are no different. Even when you try them on, they feel a little bit stiffer. So just want to give everybody a heads up on that. The collar on this is black, which I always like, and then we'll go ahead and pull out the insole on it, and it's black as well, and it has the white Jumpman on there. But both shoes are exactly the same. Go ahead and get the left shoe up. So both shoes are exactly the same material, same cut, obviously. And for as far as versatility, these look pretty sporty. I'm not gonna lie, because once you start getting above the 12, 13s, you kind of really start getting into that. I would say post retro kind of era where they're more functional. If you look at basketball shoes now, it's not something that you would think, hey, I'm going to rock that casually, which doesn't mean you can. I'm just saying, just in general, right? People always think of retros as that. And for a lot of people, 14 is kind of where it stops with the retros. And then you kind of have everything after that. So it's kind of just kind of comes down to choice on that end of it. The comfort on these, like I said, it's got a long break in time. For me, myself, I am a 9.5 in all Nike products, even like Nike basketball shoes. And I will say I do have a little bit of a pinch right here on the toe. So Just a heads up for anybody that might have never owned a pair of Air Jordan 14s. The versatility on these, I think these would look more, a little bit better with maybe shorts. And that's kind of weird because typically I always say that mid-cut shoes you can wear with anything. But the reason I say that is because they do have more of a sportier look to it. Um, and again, the other thing you want to really be cognizant of is that these are a suede material. So if you're living in a place where it rains a lot, or you get a lot of snow, just something to think about. The other reason I bring that up is because these kind of, after they're released, they kind of went up in resale value. Like I checked StockX, these are $293 right now for the buy now option in a size 9.5. So just something else to think about on that end of it. But as far as my final thoughts on these is, I probably wouldn't pay over retail for these. Main reason is because of the comfort. Like I said, you do have that issue with the pinky toe, and then also the material. Me not being able to, I could wear these in the rain or like in the snow, but are you going to pay over retail to ruin a pair of shoes like that? And if you care about that kind of thing, other people might say, "Hey, let's screw it, man. I think it's going to look even better." So it's to each his own, but those are just my final thoughts. I'd probably say, hey, I would probably wait on these to drop down in price next year, beginning of next year, if you really have your eye on these. And then I'm sure people are going to be willing to sell them well, if not at retail, slightly below. So, but anyways, that's OG Kicks 86. That's Kicks with the Z. And I'll see you on the next sneaker review. Take care.